Hey fellas, sorry about the dark background. I'm up early this morning taking care of some praying for a couple of group members, family members. Um, Seems like I say this every time we have a meeting. The discussion last night was phenomenal. If you missed it, we're sorry you did. Wish you could have been here. Very open and honest sharing between the members who were here. We talked about Matthew chapter 25, the what's known as the parable of the talents, and just a couple of quick takeaways I think that I got from the discussion is that God has given us talents, or if you will, gifts, abilities, blessings, I think Brad said, and He merely asks that we put those to use for His kingdom. And I think a lot of times we take those talents, gifts, blessings, whatever you want to call them, and like the third man in the parable, sometimes we bury it in the backyard because we're a little bit afraid of what may happen if we put them to use. And when you stop and examine yourself and reflect on the things that God has given you or me, and the abilities that He has given us, do we put those to use to further His kingdom? And it doesn't just have to be the ability to preach or necessarily the ability to sit down with someone and explain them the ins and outs of the gospel. There's a lot of people that don't have the gift to do that, but you do have gifts that God has given you. And regardless of whether those gifts seem like something that could be used in the religious arena or whether they could be used just in what you do in your everyday life, those gifts can be transformed into something that allows people to see Jesus in you, sometimes without you ever speaking a word. In fact, a lot of people say most of the time without you ever having to speak a word. So just something, again, if you haven't had time to read over that parable, look back over it again. There's so much information, so many points packed into that parable. We could probably discuss it for 3 or 4 different meetings, and who knows, maybe we will. Right now, I don't think that's what God has in store for us, but take a look at it. Miss you guys that weren't here. Look for you again in 2 weeks. We're going to talk about whatever God puts on our heart to talk about. So take care. Have a great week until we meet again. Remember, fellas, it's up to us. We need to step up.